Just as things get exciting, we're interrupted again with a flashback, 20 days earlier. Chris is speaking to Nagi, asking what kind of football the ideal Nagi desires. Without hesitation, Nagi simply says that he wants to beat Isagi, calling him a rival. Chris presses for more details, asking how Nagi plans to defeat Isagi. But Nagi shrugs, it's not something he's really thought about. Chris then changes the question, what does Nagi think about right before scoring a goal? Of course, we all know Nagi doesn't really think that much. He just acts. So instead, they decide to gather data. Chris analyzes the results and finds them intriguing. He concludes that Nagi's greatest strength lies in his ability to instantly relax his body, allowing him to use his entire frame to trap the ball. Chris even admits that Nagi is better than him at this particular skill. But the praise doesn't last long. Chris points out Nagi's biggest weakness, creativity. He tells Nagi that his playstyle is heavily dependent on others and is limited by the level of his teammates. To fix that, Chris suggests that Nagi shift to a more active style, one that begins with his elite trapping ability. All of this thinking ends up frying Nagi's brain. That's when Agi steps in to help. Agi suggests Nagi develop a trap that resets everything, a move that brings the game back to zero. Something that works in any situation. We return to the present, where Nagi is deep in thought mid-game. He wonders if Isagi and Ryo are always thinking this much. It's exhausting. He spots Agi in position and sends the ball up to him. Agi leaps into the air in an incredible jump, perfectly poised to score. But instead of taking the shot, he passes it back down to Nagi. Nagi traps the ball with his foot, juggles it, lifts it into the air, and fires a brilliant shot toward the goal. But Yukimiya jumps in and blocks it with his face. No wonder he's having vision problems. Still, his save is a game-saving moment for Bastard Munchen. Had that gone in, it might have been too much to recover from. Even so, Manshine City earns a corner kick. After the play, Agi walks up to Nagi and gives him his diagnosis. He rates the attack an 8 out of 100, a surprisingly low score. Agi explains that Nagi's pass was too rough. No one else could have even reached it. But he compliments Nagi's finishing idea, calling it interesting. From a distance, Isagi watches the interaction. He's stunned that the two are experimenting mid-match and even more shocked that Agi is somehow teaching Nagi football. Then it clicks for Isagi. He remembers how Nagi always moved according to Ryo or his own commands. Nagi is still a newbie when it comes to football. That means he's sitting on a mountain of untapped potential. Ryo then walks over and comments that it was first him, then Isagi, who influenced Nagi. And now it's Agi and Chris. If their guidance works, Nagi will keep leveling up, and it'll mark the birth of the world's true greatest genius. As Ryo walks off, he tells Isagi not to get left behind, adding that Nagi's the kind of guy who'll discard anything to chase what he wants. It's finally time for the corner kick. Isagi predicts that Chidori will likely aim a precise curve into the box, with Agi as the target due to his height. But Chidori surprises everyone. The ball doesn't curl in, it flies in low. Isagi tries to get ahead of Agi, but he's no match. He thinks he can at least limit the shooting angle. However, Agi doesn't shoot. He delivers a slick backheel pass straight to Nagi, who's been waiting in the box. Nagi's just about to leap for what might have been the first bicycle kick of the series, but Kaiser charges in, intercepts, and nearly blasts the ball away. As he falls to the ground, Agi remarks how nice it is to see him again and that he finally has the chance to analyze him. Kaiser coldly replies, telling Agi to babysit properly and calls him the mad footballer. Back in the game, it's now a race to the ball, and the one who wins might want to consider switching to Formula 1. Ness reaches it first, blowing past a Manshine City player and shouting that it's the magic hour. As Isagi trails behind Ness and Kaiser, he realizes something. Even if he tries to intercept Ness's pass, Kaiser will still end up taking a bad shot. So instead of rushing in, he decides to study Kaiser, follow him from behind and observe his thought patterns. He watches closely as Kaiser and Ness exchange passes. Isagi figures that Kaiser will look for a less marked position near the goal. But instead, Kaiser does the opposite. He sprints straight into the heart of Manshine City's defense. Isagi notices something odd. Kaiser isn't looking at the ball at all. He's twisting his neck constantly, scanning the field. It's not the ball he's focused on, it's his entire field of vision. As Ness delivers the final pass to Kaiser, nearly all of Manshine City converges on him, 5 players. Yet Kaiser still finds a narrow shot window and nails it. His incredible shot ties the game and stuns everyone. We dive into Isagi's thoughts. He realizes that even if he wanted to copy Kaiser's impact, he couldn't. It's unique to him. What he should be studying is how Kaiser found that shot course faster than anyone else. The answer lies in his eyes. Enter a science lesson from Mr. Yua. He explains that humans have 2 types of vision: central vision, which directly perceives what's in front, and peripheral vision, which captures low-resolution data outside the center. In football, players need to absorb as much peripheral info as possible, because focusing too hard on the ball reduces awareness of the surroundings, and delays decision-making. So, how does Kaiser do it? Isagi figures it out. Kaiser must be constantly renewing his peripheral information. By doing that, he always knows what everyone's doing, both teammates and opponents. That wealth of information allows him to arrive at the perfect spot before anyone else even notices the opportunity. Compared to Isagi's view, Kaiser's world is like a higher dimension. If the field is a 2D image, then a player's internal visualization is 3D. But Kaiser sees even beyond that, destroying others' plays by reading all the images. Isagi realizes that Kaiser's eyes and brain are operating on what can only be described as 4D vision, metavision. And with that, Isagi understands that trying to beat Kaiser by using lower-dimensional tools will never work. Metavision, combined with Kaiser impact, is Kaiser's golden rule. Now Isagi knows. To fight back, he needs to pair metavision with his own weapon. He doesn't have Kaiser impact, but he does have the direct shot. As he reflects further, he realizes something. He's experienced metavision before. During the first goal he ever scored in Blue Lock. In the moments when he could smell a goal. All those moments, his eyes and brain were functioning beyond others on the field. But does Kaiser maintain this for the entire 90 minutes? That seems impossible. If he did, he'd practically be a god. And that's when it hits Isagi. If he can combine metavision with his direct shot, he won't just be able to challenge Kaiser, he could surpass everyone. Back to the field, Kaiser walks up to Isagi, asking if he enjoyed stalking him. He tells Isagi that his plays are full of despair now, that they've left him speechless. Isagi stays silent for a beat, then says no. He thanks Kaiser, because now, for the first time, he sees hope in crushing him. And with that, the game restarts and it's finally time for Isagi to put his metavision into action.
Better ways, better days, I can't escape, travel phase, I miss your gaze, I lost my praise and